It's your boy, U-Goboy. That's Mongo, all right? This is the U-Goboy podcast channel. But before we start, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got unfiltered, authentic conversations. We got sports talk. We got drops. Oh, yeah. So, Mongo, what should they do?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Yahtzee. Let's shift to running backs. You know, we talked about running backs, obviously, in the last episode. But, man, oh, man. Again, the Ashton Genty hype is very real. I'm hearing the Bears are obsessed with him. I'm hearing that the Raiders, they're obsessed with him because Pete Carroll, he likes to draft 10 running backs at a time. There's no doubt. There would be no shocker if he ended up in Vegas. But there are so many other just lovely, lovely running backs. I love both the Ohio State running backs. I love me some Junkins, love me some Henderson. I love Sampson from Tennessee. I love Jordan James from Oregon. I love Neal from Kansas. I love Harvey from UCF. There are so many dynamic running backs. Gordon from Oregon State. He looks like a baby Derrick Henry. It's really going to be a flavor of ice cream. That's really what it is. What type of running back do you want? Because even Giddens from Kansas State, the Smith kid from SMU, these are converted wide receivers that we're better at running back. So let's just be that. Just be Swiss Army knives. It's a flavor of ice cream. I still believe, though, I'm going to still stand 10 toes down. You should be, if you're not going to bank on Genty or Hampton or Henderson, I believe all three of those guys are going to go in the first round. Everything I'm hearing, teams are obsessed with Hampton. Mel Kiper has mocked Hampton to Dallas for some reason, because he just sees DeMarco Murray. The Washington Commodores with Lionel Richie, they're obsessed with Hampton as well. And again, a lot of teams are going to look at Henderson as a Jahmyr Gibbs 2.0, a guy that, began to find his footing toward the end of his collegiate career, but is going to be a much better pro in the right system. I see 3 going in the first round, but I believe if you want to double dip, even Martinez from Miami, more names are just popping up in my head. If you want to double dip at running back, this is the year to do it. And I think both of our teams should do it, especially with you guys kind of being out on Breece Hall. Maybe? Raggy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sure looks like it. And I think the Jets are a great place to start to kind of allude to what you're saying. Last year the Jets went to they double dipped, right? They went into the running back twice last year's draft, but they took guys who could be bell cows if Breece Hall wasn't ready, right? They went more for, what the guys did or kind of what role they played. You're absolutely right. This one is a little bit more stylistic preference this time around instead of kind of what role they play. And I am very okay with, you're absolutely right. 7, 8, 9 deep, it keeps going. For context, I'm in a dynasty football league with, buddies from high school. With shout out Wild Thing. I have four picks in the top 21 this year. I already told them unless Tyler Warren's there at my first one, I'm taking 4 running backs. I don't really care who else is there. I'll go 4 times. I don't care. Because remember, add in the fact here, when we look back, there are years where running back just gets ruined because of where those guys went, right? There might be 3 or 4 second-round running backs, but they all went to timeshares, or they all went to bad teams, or they all went to bad O-lines. There's too many good running backs in this draft. Somebody is going someplace special. This is going to be a fantastic draft, not just for reality, but for fantasy football as well, because, there's the 11th, 12th running back might be the first running back off the board on draft day. It's not first, obviously Genty and Hampton are going to go, but some of these, fantasy boards are not going to match reality because these guys who luck into spots in the 4th or 5th round are they can all handle it. The amount of running backs who could be NFL starting running backs in this draft is insane.
Agreed. Subscribe to the channel. And we've seen the effect. Well, we've known this. You and me, we've known this. It wasn't news to us what Barkley did with Philly. We saw that tsunami coming. We're like, okay, dominant offensive line, okay, quarterback, dominant receivers, playmakers galore, dominant defense. You insert a top 3 running back there, that's a Super Bowl caliber team. And they won the Super Bowl. So it's like you get the right running back in the right system, right scheme, right personnel, right offensive line. You're talking about big dividends in December and January and February football. I stand by that. I mean, and then if you take the approach of we could just get Rico Dabble and old man Zeke and old man Dalvin Cook from Life, put anybody back there. You'll go 7-10 and you'll be picking 12 overall, like the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and I'll tell you, that's what makes the Cowboy strategy last year so bizarre, right? Because last year, every time they passed on Braylon Allen, I would text you another failed draft pick, right? Because there were really two options starting round 3, Braylon Allen or wrong. This year, it's not even pick the right running back. It's just pick a running back. Literally, if you pick the position, it'll be an A+ at A3 pick. It's absurd if Dallas messes this one up.
If we pass on a running back in rounds 2 and 3, because I don't think we'll take one in round 1 unless Gentie's just there, but I don't think he'll be there. If we pass in 2 and 3, like if we pass in 2, better get 1 and 3. We take 1 and 2, I'm fine, because I believe in round 2, Caleb Johnson. I believe Junkins is going to be there. I believe a bunch of high-end quality running backs are going to be there. It's not the end of the world if Omarion Hampton and Ashton Genty are gone in round 1. It's not the end of the world. It's not, and I've been having to talk so many people off the ledge on Twitter about that and watching so many of these experts on these draft shows and content creators saying, if the Cowboys don't get Genty, they might as well, be picking in the top 5 next year. I'm just like, there's like 25 really good running backs here. But as you said, you have to pick one. You can't be like, we'll get one in round 4. Oh yeah, we don't have a 4th round pick. We gave it for Jonathan Mingo. Okay, we'll go in round 5. We'll go in round 6. Let's check out the undrafted free agent pile. No, this is not the year for that foolishness. It's not. Take one in rounds 2 or 3, because again, since we don't have a 4th round pick, I'm gonna feel so much more comfortable, dog, if we take 1 and 2 and 3, 2 or 3, because that wait between 3 and 5 is so steep. I'm going to be freaking streaming something on Apple Plus or whatnot, or Netflix, as we wait 100 some odd picks before we pick again. That is if we don't trade down, which is also in play for us. But like you said, pick this. If you need a running back, this is the year. This is your year. This is absolutely your year.
You got to add in too Jerry Jones's pride, right? If I'm just going to pick RJ Harvey as an example, but it could be that, it could be the kid Blue from Texas. It could be any of these guys who are a little undersized in the middle, could drop a little bit. If they end up getting one of these guys in the 5th, 6th round, I mean, I said this about Rico Dowdle last year. Dowdle could have been a top 10 fantasy running back. Jerry Jones is too proud to say we're going to go with undrafted. He wants his shiny toys. He wants his trophies, and so. Finding a steal in this draft is just a guy who Jerry Jones is going to try to replace, with something more All-American next year. So you can't, it's not even a real strategy in Dallas. They need to take a top guy because Jerry needs his shiny toy.
He does. Taj Brooks, Texas Tech. I can keep going. Blue from Texas. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's
More running backs in the top 21 for me. I'm telling you right now. I'm not even going to look at the wide receivers.
Agreed. Yes, Mafia from freaking whatever that his name is from Rutgers. There's a Rutgers guy.
Yeah.
What I mean? Like, come on, man. Take a running back. I think both our teams would be inclined to do so. It's your boy, U-Goboy, and my friends at New York Posse. They're gonna hook you up with some official gear. The Knicks are hotter than ever, and they're gonna get you right with some official snapbacks, beanies, official gear, official like tissue, baby. Hit that promo code below. 2024, get 20% off on all New York Posse gear. Hit the link below and they're gonna get you right. It's your boy, U-Goboy. Yahtzee.